Richard Sibbes, Antidotum contra naufragium, Episode 10. Esse scriptum hoc depositum, traditio enim non tutus est tradendi modus. Licet natura Dei innotescat aliquatenus ex creaturis, ex scripto tamen debet constardere de voluntate. Esse aliquem coitum qui custos sit huius depositi, quem ecclesiam vocamus, quam vix melius definieris, quam quod sit custos praeclare huius depositi per spiritum sanctum habitantem in ea. Here, in his analysis of 2 Timothy 1:14, Sibbes continues to talk about the quadruplex depositum, the fourfold deposit. And here we get the last two of the four items. The third is that the deposit, or hoc depositum, that this deposit was written down, esse scriptum. Each one of these is accusative infinitive construction because of oratio obliqua. He explains this further by saying, for traditio, tradition, or the passing down of something, non tutus est tradendi modus. This is not a reliable or a safe method, modus, of conveying or handing down information. Although, licet, the nature of God, innotescat, becomes known, innotescat is the third conjugation verb innotesco, innotescere. It is here in the subjunctive because licet introduces a concessive clause, much like quamquam. Although God's nature becomes known, aliquatenus, to some extent from his creatures, still, tamen, from what has been written ex scripto, it ought to become known according to his will. The word that is difficult to translate in this phrase is constare, which has a broad range of meanings. We can translate it as to be determined in this instance, to become known, to be made clear, to be established. Nevertheless, from what is written, still we ought to draw conclusions, perhaps we should say, concerning his will, de voluntate. And now the fourth of the quadruplex depositum from 2 Timothy 1:14, that there is a certain coitum, assembly, a group. This noun coitum, the nominative is coitus, it is fourth declension, masculine, and it is from the verb coire, which means to come together. That there is a certain assembly, qui custos, which is the custos, the guardian, huius depositi, of this deposit, and this custos is what we call the church, quem ecclesiam vocamus. He says, quam, with reference to ecclesiam, thus feminine singular, and both happen to be accusative, but remember the case of the relative pronoun is not determined by its antecedent, in this instance ecclesiam. The case is determined by its use in the clause. So quam here is object of definieris, just as ecclesiam is the object of vocamus, which you could define scarcely any better. Now definieris is a second singular, but as is so common in Latin, the second singular is used where we would use the third singular and say one. So we might better say, which one could scarcely define any better, vix melius, than as that which is the custos, the guardian, of that exceptional praeclare huius, or this exceptional deposit, one that is through the Holy Spirit, or comes by means of the Holy Spirit, habitantem, dwelling in it. And the ea here is the church.